Well, welcome back. Round 14 QAFL action, and it is tight at the Jack Esplin Oval. Third place, Panthers trailing the Western Magpies, sitting in seventh. The Panthers are 1-6-12, not able to make the most of their chances despite having the stiff breeze going down their way. The Maggies, they were a bit better, 2-1-13, but no, there would have been a fair few words thrown around by Clint Watts there at quarter time. Not the quarter they were hoping for, Riley Starray.
I certainly don't think it was. They were getting quite a bit right in terms of defensive setup. The Maggies at times were really struggling to transfer the ball. But one thing I will say is that they didn't take anywhere near their opportunities, and it could prove costly. So back in the middle, it's been a pretty interesting ruck duel early. Hodge up against Ryan, and like the start of the game, we're going to have a recall bounce.
Yeah, and he worked hard for that one, Hodgie, so well done him for getting over to it. Was going to miss that opportunity to get the hit out. Now, I'm liking seeing Livesey back in the middle, and he's not being closely checked there, which is very dangerous because when he gets going, and straight away, there he is. Livesey gets first hands to balls, but is wrapped up like a newspaper, black and white everywhere. And we're going to have another ball up. So not quite escaping the centre of the ground as that cricket pitch gets a little dusty. Hodge is going to go up at it again. The ball escapes away. Ryan Harwood gets it going for the Magpies. So first clearance finally. Racing out towards us, Bradley Howard. He gets it going, steps inside his man. In, out. There he goes. Right foot ball now. Looking for Mollison. Going to get the drop. Can't get on the first bounce. Dives forward, but they're running in numbers. Well done there by Riley Easton. They get the hands going. He gets the 1-2, Easton. Right foot ball. No one really at home, so he's just going to have to let it run and bounce and roll. And it's over for a boundary throw in. So the Magpies using the wind quite nicely there. They get the first forward entry as we look to the scoreboard, and the numbers have blown off. The numbers have blown off the scoreboard. I'll talk about that breeze. Well, the Magpies need to use that here in this first term, Riley Starray.
I think if there's ever an advertisement for an electronic scoreboard, that was it.
No, I like the scoreboard here. No,
it is a great scoreboard. There's no doubt about that. Anyway, back in the game. That basically fell down to Ryan. Snap from the boundary. That's a good mark taken from Saruria. Saunders was always going to be up against it that time.
Just want to draw your attention to the fact that the boundary umpire just ran into the point post. That's what sent it wobbling.
I did see that, actually. So Saruria across the ground. That's a dangerous kick, and that's gone out on the full. So
this breeze is
you
causing
just
havoc.
Get the feeling Morningside did have the bye last week. They don't look anywhere near as threatening as they did last time out when they beat Surfers Paradise down there on the Gold Coast. They're up against it this afternoon. So Edwards is chiselling sort of a ball, couldn't quite find lumber. Howard comes out hard to get it eventually, gets the hand pass away. They're fed between hands. Joyce will send it well towards half back. And it's a good spoil there from Mallon to force the contest there on Moore, who got half a handball away. Green tried to feed it, and it's over the boundary. And we'll have a throw-in. But, yeah, they look a bit off this afternoon, the Panthers.
Yeah, just that little bit skill seem to be letting them down. Just not quite hitting the targets, and not the sort of slick ball movement we've seen from them time and time again this season. Like, very clean when they get up and running, the Panthers. So, yeah, nearly 3 minutes gone first term, and haven't seen much from them yet. Hodge, workhorse in the middle of the ground. But here they go again. Riley Easton, he's really coming into this. Gets the hands going forward, just using the momentum now, the Pies. And picks that one up running backwards, he does. Turns around, back inside ball, back to the hot spot. Goes through 3 Magpies' hands, so still unable to make the most of it. And the footy is wrapped up about 25 metres out from the Pies' goal. So very dangerous position here.
The Maggies can get one here. And just get a little bit of a break. Do them the world of good. Ryan been industrious, then tried to tap it out, then had a snap. That hasn't gone towards goal. First there was Crozier, couldn't take it off hands. Dangerous situation now here for the Pies. And eventually the Panthers will get it away. It's a kick towards the wing position, and it is a foot race. Luca Winton gets there first, but gets bowled off the ball by the hit of the day from Ethan Hunt. So Magpies will still end up with it. Winton, well, you wouldn't know he was just hit off the foot. He got up straight away, got the kick. That's a good mark. Fantastic mark taken there from Darcy Cameron Reeves, but this is a good game so far.
Oh, I thought Luca Winton was about to line up Ethan Hunt, but Hunt says, no, don't you run at me, son, I'll take care of you. So, a little confidence builder there. So this is where they need to go. They look inside the middle of the ground because if they keep kicking towards this broadcast wind, and it's just going to blow back in the wind. So you've got to push it to the other side. And that's a good kick. Manages to stay in front of his man there. Looks like Frame. So just directing traffic at the moment there, Daniel Frame. Right foot ball, kicks it over the top, looking for Howard. Howard's got to be good here, got to keep his feet. Gets spun 360, but that works out favourably. Takes on the man, inside out, look at him go. Tries to take on another one. He's not going well there. Gets the hands rolling back, might give Hodge just enough time. Is forced to get down low. The ruckman's kick going forward, and that might drop. Doesn't quite, it's working out all right for the Panthers. They just keep getting the lucky bounce. Sends it sky high, Mollison couldn't bring it down. Now down to the bottom of the pack, wrapped up in the tackle. And that's a strong tackle there by Luke Mitchell, and we've got a ball up for the Panthers just inside their forward 50.
Well, you did mention it starts to get dusty in winter at Queensland footy grounds. There is a dust cloud going across the ground just off your screen. Easton lays the tackle, Dads. He gets immediately wrapped up. Still bounce around, but eventually Tim Somerville says give it to me. But conditions this afternoon, it looks like a perfect day, but it is that breezy. It's going to be hard to kick anything with real accuracy. It'll make it difficult as that's a kick towards goal indiscriminately out on the full. So it's going to be a free kick here going the way of the Pies. And you're sort of thinking today they didn't want to get into a shootout because they wouldn't have the firepower you'd think to be able to kick a winning score, but at the moment it's right where they want it, low scoring, tight and tense.
Yeah, really, oh, big fly from the back of the pack. I'll tell you what, I reckon he's pulled that down. The umpire doesn't think so. I'll give you a mark of the day, don't worry about that. But now they look towards the middle of the ground, and this could work out very advantageously. Billy Johnson seems to have the run here. Frame, well, I'll tell you what, he just sets up that defence for the Panthers, gets it going back inside. Gives it over to Nyland Rowe, gets it going again. Looking for Hodge, kicks it over his head. In fact, drops into the path now with Mallon. Mallon three behinds already, sees it over the line. At the park corner, we're going to have another boundary throw, and so the ball just racing from end to end very quickly. Slingshotting style footy, but you spoke about avoiding a shootout this afternoon. This breeze is really negating players like Mollison and Colenso, who really take that ball up high out in front, but just the way the ball is swirling in the breeze, making it really difficult for them.
So back at the contest, Moore wins the tap down, goes towards Mitchell. We'll just send it towards the wing position. Morningside have all the numbers, but no mark taken. This could prove dangerous. That was a costly drop mark from Frame, and now coming through his sorters, if he can get the pick up. Well, he's against Howard, who's probably been best on ground so far for the Panthers. Couldn't quite get it away, and they managed to tie it up. And it's going to be another stoppage in the middle of the ground. So it's a game really being played between the arcs at the moment. No real forward potency from either side, but it's tight, it's tense, and most importantly for the Magpies, they're in the game.
Yeah, we haven't really seen a clean forward entry just yet, so they're working around the back of the pack, been very industrious this afternoon as Riley Easton. So they go forward now, the Panthers. Kick to 2-1, but they can't pull down the mark. They've got numbers down there nicely. The Pies, David Lewis gets the hands back in and out, and they get it going out to the wing. There's I was going to say only Panthers out there, but just overran it. Did Brock Aston, so now they can just settle the play down and don't need to really race it, the Magpies, because they seem to be a little bit more in control. That's a good piece of footy. Finds Riley Easton there on centre wing. He looks like he wants to try and bring it back in, but can't. Low little kick, has to be taken on the half volley. Player now, sky high, just uses the breeze to wobble it down. Both players go down behind play. Play on calls the umpire. Frame wants to see it over the line and gets the result he desires. Footy out in front of the scoreboard, and there's a little bit of a stink on down in the corner. Umpire says that's enough of that. So, 1 point game, 8 minutes gone, second term, round 14, third place, Morningside taking on 7th place Magpies, who you'd say their season's probably over. They don't get up this afternoon, but they're playing like a team who really want to play finals football this year, Riley Star Race.
They certainly are. Robertson, he couldn't quite pick it up, it's over the boundary again. Just interesting to note as well, the Magpies, they're currently setting up one spare defensively off the pack, about 50 metres away, so effectively a kick, and that is David Lewis. So Morningside are going to have to think about the way they transition this ball if they can get the clearance, which, to be honest, nothing's been too clean for them today. Over the back nine, the ruckman really won it down. It's just a pack race towards it. Easton couldn't get it. Now it's eventually going to come away towards half forward. Mollison's got a job to do here, but he's done it well. Problem is there's not really anyone forward, so he's just going to have to set it up for Dats. He's got to sit under it. Good spoil there eventually, which was well done from Winton. Off head, Lewis gets himself into trouble and gets out of it well. They scrambled really well there, the Magpies. And Mitchell then send a hacking sort of a ball. Edwards made it look 10 times better than it really was. Hand pass to Green. Green will go back to Edwards, who can take a run. Hand pass, I think he thought Fletcher was going to get it, but then eventually he did. Still on again. Edwards is gone again. He's going to run 65 metres out towards the forward 50. Off hands. Saunders couldn't take it. Saruria gets it away. Kicks it towards the boundary line. And McNeese is going to have to get there first. He's up against Riley Easton. He's going to have to think about it. And he just sort of plunks an indiscriminate sort of a ball. That was a good contest between Aston and Dennis, and it's tied up. I'll tell you what. I think we just saw the talent on display there from Daniel Edwards. That boy can play.
I'll tell you what, that was exciting. Great call there, Riley Star. Yes, he just took the game on through the middle of the ground and almost caught his own forwards out of position there because they weren't expecting that footy to transition so quickly. So it's just flying from end to end at the moment. Kick goes forward courtesy of Gareth Crawford, who manages to do that pretty well. Finds Zane Lovell. He's running it in. He wants to go long. He's going to take a flying shot at this, and this will be marked right on the line. Nicely taken. Did that beautifully, did Lovell, and, well, he's put his man in the perfect position, and they will go ahead here, the Magpies. You can just see that this was going to happen, and it looks like Liam Dwyer, as the footy makes no mistake, straight over the goal umpire's hat, 3-1-19. Sorry, pardon me, Ryan Sampson. He's decided to pull a jersey switch on us there, but he's been rucking well this afternoon, sends that one through the middle, and they go ahead, the Magpies.
They certainly do. So, 7 points the margin, 3-1 to 1-6. Inaccuracy, a massive part of the story, but that is a key goal in a game where it looks like there's not going to be too many. Every goal's going to be pretty valuable. Bryden Morgan talked during the week how Samson Ryan could have a big impact on this contest because last time these two sides played, it was just Hodge going to work and absolutely destroyed the rucking division of the Magpies, but at least holding their own. Back in the middle, Mollison wins the tap down. He's gone in there, then gets his own clearance towards the forward 50. It's going to be a foot race. Joyce, Graham, Lewis, neither could get there, but eventually it falls back. There's almost a shot at goal from Joyce. It's going to hold up Cameron Reeves in the square. Highlands has got to do well here. He's at least forced it to the boundary. Still in the field of play and bouncing around. Winton gets the hand pass in the forward pocket. Off hands, still smothered off the boot. And now the Magpies can at least repel. Hand pass across goal. We'll find Johnson, who's got a little bit of space. He'll take a bounce, and he is a lefty as well, so he's on the right side for him towards the wing position. Goes off hands towards the back. No mark taken. There from Nyla Rowe, but the soccer out of the pack has gone to frame. They'll look towards the middle of the ground, and Mollison's got a paddock.
Oh, Mollison just drags it in one hand. It looks inboard. He's got the lead coming up from Cameron Reeves, goes a little bit shorter, drops in front of Mallon. Mallon loses his feet, not great, but Levis there to clean it up. Hands back, finds Mollison again. Round two, he'll try again. Right football to the hot spot. Big fly's going to come, but two Magpies stand in the way. Sandwich, little kick off the ground is just off target and rolls across the line for a boundary throw in. But that was better there from the Panthers. Like the way they're setting it up, and I don't mind Cameron Reeves down there as well on the forward line. Just creates that forward pressure with that big body of his. So this is the time to strike while the iron is hot. So ball, he flung back in, 20 metres out. It's almost uncontested here, so he just takes it out of the ruck, and a push out's been called, and it's going to go the Panthers' way. So Cameron Reeves had nominated, but I don't think the Magpies realised he had, and so they tried to clear him out of the contest. I was wondering why they were trying to go up uncontested, and as I just spoke about him, Darcy Cameron Reeves now, as the wind dies down, has a chance to bring the game back to 1 point.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a strange one for the block, but massively needed here for the Panthers to convert.
And Cameron Reeves, he looks pretty good. He likes it, sends it through. That's their second of the afternoon. They go to 2-6-18, just 1 point behind the Magpies at 3-1-19. Very interesting. Not my favourite rule, the old nominate for the ruck. A bit Oz kick in my mind, but it's not a bad tactic. Send one of the small blokes to nominate. No one takes it seriously, and then all of a sudden he stands off the ball and free kick.
It is an interesting tactic, it must be said, but an interesting sort of a rule. But nonetheless, it's brought it back to 1 point. Still very tight here. If you just joined us, the Panthers peppered the goals in the opening term, but have 1-6 to show for it. It's a 1 point game. These two sides typically produce some fireworks. They have in the last couple of years at the very least. So back in the middle, Ryan and Mollison. Ryan wins it down decisively, but gone straight down the Livesey. Got half a hand pass away, and then Ryan ties up Mollison. Crawford, we got half a kick. He'll dribble about 15 metres, Livesey, he'll step inside and he'll send it towards a contest. Good looking sort of a ball. Good spoil there from Green, off hands. Trying to get it away off the bottom of the pack. There is Highlands, couldn't quite. McNeese, well that was a good sort of a hand pass. Still off hands, well done from Johnson to force the contest against Godfrey. Crawford, as there is a blue on in the middle, and there's a free kick which has been called off the ball. Well, that was ill discipline, it must be said. And Sam Cunnington will have the free kick after all of that.
Yeah, just spurred up a bit there, Highlands, and Cunnington the recipient. So he goes towards Cameron Reeves, who just runs under it a little bit, pardon me. No, it's not. It's Henry Joyce. He rolls around back inside the contest, tries to go the second time. Kept his feet well there, but yeah, it's a little bit of aggression starting to creep into the game. Probably frustration simmering under the surface, but Morningside, who didn't have the best first 5 minutes, now have the chance to make something happen. So tap comes down, but it's roved away. The Maggies can escape through. Ryan Harwood just bombs it into the safe territory, but not safe enough. William Pendlebury, too far out to score against the wind, so he's looking for the lead to come out. Colenso sets himself, couldn't quite get it the first time. Ball stays in, dances around, just skies this one. How will it drop? Caught up in the breeze. Courageous footy from both teams, and well, the Magpies escape out the far side of the ground, and this one they'll happily let run across the line. I'm sure they'll appeal for deliberate, but you shouldn't call that one. And they don't. As we sit right above the Morningside bench here, so you can hear they're a little disappointed by that, but right decision there by the umpire.
Yeah, the breeze sort of drifted that one towards the end, and something takes 3 bounces. It's hard to pay that one these days.
No, it's a science.
So back at the game. Give the Honours that time the more. Crawford overrun it, couldn't get the footy. Goes towards the back, Johnson. He's playing a really good game this afternoon. Sends it towards the wing position. No mark taken. Good spoil from Frame. And it's another free kick called out. This is gone against Frame, and it's going to go the way of Lumber. So Brody Lumber right on the wing. Now, there are options ahead of him. They're not really moving, so he's just going to have to set it up. And I thought he had players leading at him, but he didn't that time. And Jack Goodall, well, he's not too happy with the delivery. I don't think his teammates too happy that there was a lack of a lead, and Saruria takes the mark and will retreat defensively.
So now Saruria pressed up against his own line. He's going to look back inside the middle of the ground. Dangerous kick, and that should be called for 50. It's not. And so they can escape out the other side, and it was Pendlebury who copped a bit of treatment right there, but incidental calls the umpire, looks for Dads, and Dads takes that very cleanly on the half-back flank. And now it's starting to open up. The big man, Mollison, takes it out in the chest, and he's there on the wing now. Far side of the ground, sun in the eyes. And the Magpies have been very good at flooding the numbers back this afternoon, just shutting down those short little options. You've noticed they haven't been able to run it very often, the Panthers, so he just has to kick a little bit longer. Look for big fly from the back of the pack, Ethan Hunt. How about that? Read that so well in the wind, but the kick not as great. Doesn't matter, you've got the mark to show for it. And then, it's been a free kick paid, going the Panthers' way. And they've got a bit of space here, sitting all on his own in the forward line. Oh wow, sorry, I'm still coming down from the mark, but it's Brock Aston has just taken that uncontested on his chest, but we can go back and have a look at what Ethan Hunt just did in the air.
And I think he's just running off the ground now, Ethan. Only got a couple of little head pats, and that's going to be a contender for mark of the year.
He's coming up to see the replay.
He's got a little bit more of a stiffer posture now.
He's standing up a little bit taller. Ethan Hunt, take a bow. Fantastic mark. So back to the action. Brock Aston. All on his own he was, and he can make the Magpies pay for ball watching. Aston, left foot ball. It looks good. It looks very good. 3-6-20 for the Panthers. And now the Magpies have a bit of work to do. 3-1-19, and they just opened that up. There they did, Morningside.
They certainly did. I think the free kick was a little fortuitous because it sort of caught the Magpies napping. But they've hit the front now, and a hard team to stop when they're front runners, Morningside, but a really good game. This one should go down right to the wire. I just think in the last 5 minutes or so, having that move of Mollison into the ruck has sort of changed the dynamic of that midfield battle, and it's started to wrest momentum the Panthers' way.
Yeah, you can see they were trying to just really work over Bradley Hodge. So yeah, you're right. I do like this move of Mollison into the ruck as another inconsistent bounce there, and we'll see a replay on that. But you're right, they had really been trying to work over Bradley Hodge, and Mollison just creates a few different chances there, so it just changes it up a little bit. So Mollison goes up against Samson Ryan. Ball spills around. Dads, he's been industrious, but he nearly gets leg there, gets the hands going. Just overran it, unfortunately. It did Colenso. Bodies diving everywhere. Appeals for holding the ball. Not called there by umpire Josh Moore. Says, I'll take that. We're going to have another ball up. So now this is starting to get very, very interesting. 5-point game, nearly 20 minutes gone. First term. Tapped down there by Ryan. The Pies go forward now. Just bangs it on the boot. Couldn't quite take it on the half volley there. Couldn't lumber. Yeah, another call for holding the ball, but not called. Another ball up, so nearly into time on here in this second term. And the Magpies, well, Panthers just over the top of them the last 5 minutes. They really need to make the most of their chances here.
So back at the contest, ball back towards Edwards, gets the hand pass away to Fletcher. He couldn't pick it up off the hand, spent it before he got it really. He eventually gets it, then feeds it further back. They're going backwards here, the Pies. Savage just bangs it on the boot eventually, and this should favour Saunders if he gets the bounce. He doesn't. He's still going to go out of the field of play. We'll have a throw in. That's 55 metres out, 60 metres out from the Magpies attacking goal. Critical juncture for them. They cannot let this blow out and let Morningside get a lead. They've got to stay within touch, stay within distance. Give the honours that time to Mollison. Off hands, it's still bouncing around at the pack. Eventually he'll try and get it away. Saunders stepped inside one, just got a hand pass, but it goes straight to Cameron Reeves, who's immediately tied up there from Crawford. Further back, Moore got it away. Goodall, already got a goal this afternoon. Hand pass over the top. Easton, 35 out, and he goes. Well, I was going to say, going to kick a ripper, but the bounce has done a Shane Ward leg break to the wrong side. 4 points the margin. 3-6 to 3-2. Very interesting game, this one.
Yeah, it really gave us some extra rotations there, but that's where they need to be attacking from, that 40 to 55 metres out. Just been kept out of that zone this afternoon, but with that breeze, that's what they need to start doing. So they're going to have to move this one by hands here, the Panthers, as they come out of the back line. Short little ball, nicely done. Taken there by Mollison. Mollison looks back inside. That's a good piece of footy. They can move this well. This is what they haven't been able to do this afternoon. All of a sudden, the corridor's opening up. Cameron Reeves, they get it going forward. Out in front of Crozier. He doesn't quite get the bounce. Livesey hands back over the top. Now this is dangerous. Has to work hard here. Does Lockie Dennis, and a free kick's being called. And it's a sling tackle, and it's going to be going the Magpies' way. So quick turnover. They've hurt the Panthers a couple of times on the turnover. And this footy falls to Luca Winton. Played all 11 games this year. Winton 7 times in the Magpies' best. He's really got to lead the charge for them. Kicks it straight down, and that is a good mark taken out in front, and just tries to get back on the right. It's Jack Goodall going forward to the fine direction. Samson Ryan couldn't quite get to it. Dads roves it well. He's got to turn on the Jets now. That 1 bounce, 2 bounces. He's just going to run this out. 3 bounces. Keep going, son. Through the middle of the ground, and that's very well done indeed. Finds Billy Pendlebury in the middle of the ground.
Very clean play there from Dads to Pendlebury. Pendlebury held it up initially, then go towards the forward flank area just to let it sort of set up. Then it's turned back inboard to Pendlebury. And they've got the switch on here if they really want it. Cameron Reeves. He's got Mollison wide, but a little bit further afield. He has McNeese, who takes the mark now, 75 metres out from goal. Problem is they've got numbers everywhere defensively here, the Magpies, so they're just going to have to set it up. The kick from Cameron Reeves to the pack of players off hands. Hodge couldn't get it. Trying to get it away to Winton. He's done well. Finds Johnson, who's been very good this afternoon. And that's a very good kick. I really like the cut of his jib. He'll find a teammate. And the Maggies are just content to hold it up. And it'll just eventually be sent from Kerr towards halfback. No mark taken from Saruria. Off hands. Lumber couldn't get it. Good tackle laid there from Mitchell. Well, that's a blind hand pass from Swan, and it was quite dangerous as well because it finds Edwards. Goes towards half forward. Reed's got a little bit of space. If he can get it on the bounce, he does. Turns inside with the hand pass. This is looking promising. And a good pass inside the 50 initially, but it came off the boot a little bit indiscriminately. And after all of that, it's a Morningside ball. They've got numbers on this broadcast wing.
Oh, yes, they do, and they can move it quite well. This has been a game of rebound 50s this afternoon. The Panthers have a bit of space. They've got numbers to work with. Livers here, he's got a hands over the top of, he wants him to Godfrey. Godfrey can run it in, takes a first bounce, takes a second within 5 metres, runs to 40, and started it right and kept it right. Just needed to come through a little bit more, but I don't mind that as a piece of play there by the Panthers. They slingshotted that very nicely indeed. So Morningside now to 3-8-26. They lead the Maggies 3-20. And now just going to have to kick back to the hot spot. Moore couldn't quite bring it down. The big man has to wrap up Colenso in the tackle and does it nicely. Gets the leg around too. Says, you're not going anywhere. We're going to have a ball up just in front of the Morningside bench here, about 70 metres out from their goal. So just 24 and a half minutes gone, second term. Oh, used that very well indeed, did Gerard Moore. And they managed to get it away, the Magpies. Ryan Harwood runs around back into traffic, does the full U-turn, but gets it going down the wing, kicks to the one-on-one. Nicely done. Goodall's got to work hard, but just barreling his way through the pack. Nicely done, but wrapped up very, very quickly indeed. Oh, it's still going. This footy's still in. Wraps up again. Cries for holding the ball, my co-commentator says. Not caught. Play on. Still going. Cameron Reeves spun around. All the players want it, but the umpires have absolutely shelved the whistle at this point. They want this to go on. And a very... I'll tell you what, just want this to end, and we've got a scrap on right in front of us. Billy Johnson at the back of the pack. Diving in there is Daniel Frame. And the umpire's done the smart thing. And just, yep, we got a couple of nominations. I'll stay with the play, Riley, you stay with the fight. Ball tapped down, couldn't quite do much with it there. Could Samuel Godfrey going forward. Raw wrapped up attack. Livesey takes the game on. He's got a man. Can he get Aston? Chipping little ball to Aston in the pocket and finds him.
That was very well done there from Livesey.
Aston wants to get it going and he's got a man wide open and there we go. Settles the play down. I'll tell you what, and that was smart footy. Dylan Swan has the ball in his hands. And well, there's a fiery minute there and well, I think Timmy Pies just committed to the scrap and allowed a few Morningside players to get away. We've got a few rotations going through the Pies bench at the moment. They'll be dirty on themselves after that one. Well, Swan can really make them pay. It's going to come in. The right footer sends it on its way, just skies a little bit and doesn't make the most of the opportunity. So, in fact, it doesn't even register a score. So the score remains 3-8-26 to the visitors, 3-2-20. Riley Starray, what did you see there? I was too busy with the game.
Well, I think just at the moment, the Magpies are in a little bit of danger of just losing their heads. Morningside are starting to get some momentum now and they don't want this to boil over. As towards the wing, Hunt, well, he's really feeling it this afternoon. Tried to fly again, couldn't take it. Nyland Rowe snaps it towards half forward, bounces off hands, eventually punched away. But it's going to be coming right back in. Hunt in towards the forward 50. That's a good mark from Green. Really well done there from Riley Green. Took courage. He's done it well. You'll find Luke Mitchell on the last line of defence. Now Mitchell worked himself into trouble, worked down, and then Lewis is cold. And the umpire no prior opportunity. Yep. But he was sold into trouble there. It must be said. And another opportunity here for the Panthers.
So just really locking it down in there forward 50. We haven't seen too much of from either team this afternoon. Kept centre Crawford. Crawford couldn't get the kick away. He tried to take the game on. It was called holding the footy. So as we're ticking a red time, 27.5 gone in the second term. Panthers can really make the most of this. And I think Crawford will find himself a little unlucky there. He was the man that tried to get the game going out of the contest. But he was wrapped up very tightly indeed by Mallon, who he's kicked 3 behinds this afternoon. So he's going to really want to get this one. Mallon to nail home the ascendancy. It's an awkward looking kick, but it doesn't matter, it's through. Panthers have their fourth and this game blows out just a little bit.
That it certainly does, and Morningside, they kicked the last 3 now. So they've started to get some momentum, they started to get more ball, and again this territory, this wave, this insurgent, they're really pressing high up the ground at the moment, the Panthers. And just right now, if it's not Daniel Edwards getting the footy, Wests are really struggling to clear it.
Yeah, they really are. And I mean, this is how Morningside, we've always seen them play this style of footy, but they haven't been able to get this game going. And credit to the first 1.5 quarters to the Pies, who've managed to shut down that gameplay from Morningside. But now that they're pressing up, they start to look really dangerous. And just seen a change. We've seen Hodge go back into the ruck now, so he'll ruck this out towards the end. They flies up against the young man, Ryan Sampson. Crawford want to make up that last one, just throws him into the deck, and the umpire in charge, who he wanted to call it, and he does.
There's a good tackle from Gareth Crawford as well, who quickly wants to go, sends it towards the forward 50. The target is Lumber, but he's ridden under the ball well from Saruria. And there's no forward system at the moment for the Magpies.
No,
it's just looking a bit messy and just a bit out of whack. Aston He'll go defensively. He's content to hold it up. Robertson, I think there's about a minute left in this quarter. Sends it wide. Morningside through Pendlebury. Go towards the leading target on the wing. Goes over the back. Maybe one last chance here for the Pies. It's in the hands of Edwards.
Probably 30 seconds.
Who is a dangerous
Oh,
user.
no, there we go.
So it's half time. Very interesting sort of a quarter, this one, it must be said. We believe it's 4-8 to 3-2, but we'll get that confirmed for you during the break. Just to run you through the goal scorers at the moment. Well, first we'll go to the home side who's in front. Darcy Cameron Reeves with 1, Ed Mallon 1, Brock Aston 1, Ryan Dadds 1, and it's all singles as well for the Maggies through Saunders, Goodall and Samson Ryan.
Well, I think they'll be pretty happy with that quarter there, Morningside. They'll come away with that. They'll be kicking back with the breeze in the third term, and we hope you can join us for that. We'll be back very shortly. 4-8 plays 3-2. Third versus seventh Magpie season could be over. Don't get across the line this afternoon. The Panthers start to make their march towards September. Round 14 QFL action down here at Jack Esplin Oval. We'll see you very shortly.